What's going on, guys? Adam here from TexasGarage, and this week I've been driving the 2020 Lexus ES 300H in the ultra luxury trim. Let's take a closer look. All right, first of all, last year I drove the 2019 Lexus ES F Sport. It was the first year they ever had the F Sport in the ES. So that was the sporty one. This is the hybrid ultra luxury one. I'm excited to get into it. When I drove the F Sport, I was quite impressed, even though it wouldn't be my first choice when I was looking for a sporty sedan. So I was really interested in driving this one, the luxury one, and really feeling what this car is made to be. So with that, let's jump in, take a drive first. I gotta get this thing washed, then we'll get out and check out the exterior design and everything, and we'll see what I think about this car. All right, before we actually take off, I developed a bit of an AI to help me out with these reviews to get some extra facts in there for you guys. It plugs right into the camera. It's really cool technology. I call it Vikki, short for Vehicle Information Cybernetic Intellect. It's a little bit of an AI system, so let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed having Vikki here or if it's too much of a gimmick. Just trying something new and trying to gauge this. But Vikki, introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Vikki, your personal vehicle information cyber intellect. What can I help you with today?
That's great. Now give us a few facts about the ES.
After nearly 30 years of success, the 7th generation Lexus ES unveiled last year redefined its status among entry-level executive sedans. Long known for its unparalleled comfort, refinement and luxury appointments, the 2020 Lexus ES builds on the momentum of the redesigned 2019 model with key updates to infotainment and standard features.
Very cool, very cool. Well, all right, guys, let's start her up and get on the road. So again, this is the hybrid, so it is very fuel efficient. Even driving around suburb streets like we're on right now, you can be in just EV mode. This also makes it an extremely quiet vehicle, and Lexus has put a lot into this vehicle to make it extremely quiet. Lexus calls this their hybrid acoustics, and they really ratchet up their sound dampening and makes this a really quiet vehicle. So the EPA numbers on this vehicle are 43 miles per gallon city, 44 miles per gallon highway. During this full week that I've been driving it, I've been averaging 35 miles to the gallon. Now, take into consideration that's a little bit of sitting with it idle quite a bit, pushing it hard for these reviews and things like that. I'm sure if I babied it or just did normal day-to-day driving, it would be a lot higher, but that's what we're getting right now. Another advantage to that fuel economy in this hybrid system is the fact that this thing has a 581 mile range on one tank. I've been driving this thing for a full week. They gave it to me with a full tank, and I'm not even at half a tank yet. So the ES is Lexus's only sedan that's based on a front-wheel drive platform, and maybe in that F Sport it really matters, but in this thing I don't think it does. I haven't been able to push it hard enough to where I feel like the front tires can't keep track of both giving the power and doing the steering, and you don't even want to push this type of vehicle that way anyways. It's just a comfortable and smooth ride, and for my money, I'm okay with the front-wheel drive in this type of vehicle. But even though it's not the F Sport and it is front-wheel drive, it still feels very connected to the road, still feels very easy and nice to drive. It is wider and longer than its predecessor, so that helps with keeping you feel planted. Every trim level of the ES now has paddle shifters. I haven't touched them since I got in this car, and I don't expect to, but if you need them, they're there. And we'll talk more about the engine setup later, but you do have plenty of power to get up and go if you need to. And again, I can't stress enough how planted and firm this car feels. When you think back to old Lexus vehicles, very wobbly, very light steering. This has heavy steering, again, very planted feel. I just quite enjoy it. Vikki, do you have anything to add there?
The battery is not only remarkably small and lightweight, but also strategically placed as close to the middle of the vehicle as possible for optimized front-rear weight distribution and a lower center of gravity.
So you do have a dedicated EV mode button here that will keep you in electric only for as long as the batteries can take it, or till you get to a certain speed, or trying to push enough RPMs to really kick it off. But again, on that EV mode, it's super silent in here. It's so quiet in here that yes, once I parked it in a parking lot for a store, put it in park, got out of the car, and tried to lock it, and it kept beeping at me. I couldn't figure it out. I hadn't turned the car off yet, and I just didn't realize it because it's so quiet, and obviously you're not getting that gas engine running. So definitely always double check that you turn the car off before you get out of it. Tech-wise, I'll give this thing a lot of credit. It's got a lot more tech in this thing than even Lexus's $100,000 LX SUV. You get a huge 12.3-inch display. It's not a touchscreen. You do have to control it through this trackpad here, but all the controls are pretty easy to figure out. And like I mentioned in the CX-30 first drive, it does take a while for somebody to really get comfortable using a system for the first time. It can take up to 3 weeks to get comfortable using it. So us car reviewers driving cars for a week doesn't really give us the opportunity to really get comfortable with it. Now, I've driven enough different Lexus throughout the year that I'm pretty comfortable with the system. So for me, jumping in this, it's pretty easy to use. You do also finally get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration, as well as Alexa integration. You have built-in navigation here, and everything is pumped out through a Mark Levinson Pure Play audio system here. It sounds really good, but that's what you would come to expect driving in a Lexus. So obviously you got USB interface for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but you also have a wireless charger in here. Now this doesn't have the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth enabled Apple CarPlay, but you can throw your phone in here and wirelessly charge it if needed. I also have a 10.2-inch heads-up display that gives me information like miles per gallon, gives me information like my eco driving, if I'm staying within lines on the road. A lot of great information in that big heads-up display. You also get a 360 camera, so you got the backup camera and a 360 view of what's going on around your car. Always great to have, no matter if you're in a big SUV, a big sedan, or even a smaller compact car. All right, so let's take a second to look at the interior of this vehicle. Obviously, really nice. Again, this is the ultra luxury trim. It's the top of the line trim for the hybrid vehicles. We get great stuff like hand stitching here on the dash. We get these nice leather seats. They're two-tone leather with a light brown and dark brown. They are heated and cooled seats, very comfortable. You also have a heated steering wheel with wood inlays. This is actually the same steering wheel out of the LS model, their top-of-the-line sedan. And it's really nice. And Lexus has done a lot to really make this a comfortable feeling steering wheel. So no matter where you place your hands on the steering wheel, it's very comfortable to drive. Obviously, you have all your integrated buttons into the steering wheel for all the functions you can do without removing your hands from the steering wheel. There are a lot of nice little design touches and just overall nice materials throughout this cabin. So I really can't stress enough just how nice of a place this is to be. If you're in your car a lot, or you just need a very nice and comfortable car, man, this ES is just, for the money, it's really nice. And we'll get into price and all that in just a bit. So touching on the back seats, there is a ton of room back here, especially behind the passenger seat. There's still a lot of room behind the driver's seat as well, but whenever you turn the car off, the driver's seat pushes back. So if you've got a tall person in the back seat, it will kind of crush their legs. I had the kids back here, and they said there was never any problem for them but I can imagine for myself, I would have issues with that. You're gonna have to let me out of this car before you turn it off and crush my legs. Obviously, the materials back here are just as nice as in the front. You still get nice Mark Levinson speakers. You get a pull down with cup holders. You get 2 USB ports and a 12 volt 120 watts accessory plug. Again, all really nice. All right, so let's check out the exterior design of this ES, starting with the front end here and those LED headlights with that signature L daytime running light. You have the LED headlights, the ultra compact premium triple beam LED headlamps. You have the daytime running lights with the signature L shape. Coming around the side, you have 18-inch split 5-spoke alloy wheels. We have these auto folding side mirrors and a pretty sleek design overall. And around the back, sleek LED tail lamps. No exhaust ports on this. This is the hybrid, so you're not showing off your exhaust here like you would on the sport trim. All right, and around the back, we have the trunk, obviously. Nice big luxury sedan. You need a nice big trunk. You can open it through a button here. There's obviously buttons inside and buttons on the key. It's a power opening trunk, power closing trunk, and it's 16.7 cubic feet of cargo space, which is a pretty good size. So in this hybrid system, you have 2 electric motors that's matched up to the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder gasoline engine and gives you a total system output of 215 horsepower. So obviously this is a big car and that doesn't sound like a lot, but like we've already showed in the driving portion, this thing will get up and go when you need it to. All right, so let's start off by talking about the trim levels here. You have the 300H, which is the hybrid trims. You have the 350, which is the normal gasoline trim, and then the 350F Sport, which is their sporty model. We're gonna be focusing more on the H here, but pretty much the trim levels are the same, whether you're looking at the hybrid versus the normal. And to jump into the hybrid over the regular gasoline, it's only a few $1,000s difference. So if you're interested in the hybrid, I definitely would suggest checking it out. So the base hybrid is $41,760. The luxury trim in the hybrid starts at $44,615. And then the ultra luxury trim in the hybrid starts at $45,610. That's the trim we're rocking right here. And again, for comparison, the ultra luxury in the 350 is $43,750. So again, only a few $1,000s difference. So for the full MSRP of the one we're driving here, it's $55,485. And in my eye, that's actually a really good price for everything you get packed into this vehicle. I really liked it. Comparison wise, you would be looking at something like the Infiniti Q50 hybrid. You have the Acura RLX hybrid. This compares to something like the Mercedes C-Class, the Lexus MKZ, or the Genesis G80. Now, not all of those have a hybrid version, but that's kind of the area that you're looking at luxury-wise. And for me, for the price that you get this thing at, I really like this one compared to all of those. I also like that Acura RLX with the tech that it gets, but this one now has really great tech as well. This Lexus style is growing a little bit old. Again, it's been around since 2012-ish, even though it's been tweaked a little bit, but I do like it. I think the worst part about the car is the style, but I could live with it. Obviously, that Mercedes is a really nice vehicle as well, but to get something comparable, you're gonna be spending a lot more money. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you enjoyed Vikki helping me out with this one. Please let me know in the comments what you think about that. I can continue doing it or I can stop doing it. Let me know also what you think about the ES, especially this 300H version. Again, I quite like it and I'm pretty impressed with it with the time that I spent with it. If you enjoy these videos, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We're looking to grow the channel, obviously, and your contribution to the subscriber count is always appreciated. If you don't know, our goal here is providing good consumer advice. Obviously, with TexasGarage, we target the Texas automotive market, but of course, YouTube is worldwide, and we appreciate all the people around the world watching these videos. Obviously, if you want more content, more reviews in written form, you can check out txgarage.com. And with that, I'm done, guys. Hope you guys have a great one. I'll check you in the next one.